All right, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Officer Paul Cruz, Wichita Police Department Public Information Unit. Today is a very important day for the City of Wichita and the Wichita Police Department, as well as Light On. We're going to be talking about that program today shortly, but I want to make sure I recognize everybody that's here because it's important to recognize the partnerships that we've had and as well as those that are here to support. So first, I'd like to thank our mayor, Brandon Whipple, who's also here with us. I'll give you an opportunity to speak here in a second. I want to recognize District 2, Becky Tuttle, Councilwoman, Councilmember Brendan Johnson, District 1. Thank you for being here. We also have Wichita State University, Dr. Berger, who's also back there. Hello. Thank you for being here with us. We also want to recognize the owners of the businesses that are partnering with us, Auto Mech, the owners here, as well as G&L Garage and Nails Auto Service. So we'll be talking about the businesses and the partnership that they have with us here in a second. We also want to recognize the Urban League of Kansas, the director, Angela Perez, who's also here with us. Thank you. Levanta Williams, who's also part of the Urban League board member. Are you back there? Hello. Thank you. And we also want to thank Frankie, who's also been very helpful with helping us, and she's part of the Urban League here as well. So it's a very important day. Very excited for the Wichita Police Department. Anybody else that I missed? No? Okay. So to kick things off and talk about all the great things that are taking place in regards to what Lights On is, what program, how does it work? I know there's going to be a lot of questions. We're going to invite our Chief Gordon Ramsey, to come and speak and kick things off for us. Chief.
Thank you, Paul. Well, I am so excited to be talking about this today and to share with our community what this is about. This is about 3 years in progress that we've been working on this in cooperation with many different community groups throughout the city. Urban League, of course. Former Councilor Levanta Williams has been very helpful, and to get to this point, it has been a lot of work, and so we're excited to finally get the wheels in motion. This is really a community-driven program that focuses on partnerships with police in the community. And as I said, we've been working on this for 3 years, but it is particularly timely today because we want to have positive interactions with our community, and we also want to be seen as helpers, right? We don't want to be seen as the oppressors of our community. We are here to help our community, and this is a step in change and in how we're policing with our community. The Lights On program is, works in the manner of, so when someone does have a mechanical or lighting issue with their vehicle, when we go to pull them over and give a ticket, an option is now for them to get a voucher to have that repaired. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in details, but we are, while we're early adopters of this, it has been going on for a little while in Minnesota, and the feedback that is received is that officers say that it relieves stress and tension in traffic stops and helps build that bridge. We've partnered with some businesses that we're excited to see how this goes and ultimately look, because our goal is to be the best we can be. And what's been talked about in the last month particularly is that policing needs to change. We need to look at new ways of doing things. And that's exactly what this program is. And I am pleased to introduce Don Samuels, who is the CEO of Micro Grants. And a big part of their program is the Lights On program, and he is someone that I have looked up to for a number of years because of his leadership in Minnesota in politics, and he has been a wonderful partner with us. So, Don, welcome to Wichita.
Thank you, Chief. It's great to be in Wichita. We have back at the office at Microgrants, where we run the Lights On program, we've said the word Wichita probably a total of 1,000 times, because this is the city that has initiated and been very, very enthusiastic about the program of all the cities in the United States. And we've had a few bites and nibbles, but Wichita wanted in, and Levanta Williams 3 years ago tried to get this thing going and couldn't quite get it going. And then to have a chief who is the most enthusiastic chief that we've talked to outside of the state of Minnesota. It is not by accident that this is the first city outside of Minnesota that we are entering. And we feel very, very grateful for that, for your enthusiasm, because when a city is enthusiastic, you know that they're going to be a good partner. And your folks are enthusiastic because they care about the community. We know that. They care about the relationships. It all came out of compassion and an interest in good community police relationships. And that's what Lights On is all about. We want to make sure that the goodwill that the cops feel can be expressed by a tangible instrument, because they can only use what's in their duty belt. And they have clamored and asked for this new tool, and it's going to make a big difference in this community. One of the things that I am glad about the potential of Lights On is once it's tried and it works, then there's a whole new kind of a perception of what can possibly happen. I'm talking about a different way to solve problems, especially with that poor people have. Because many of our you have to stop people who have broken lights, because if they're making a right turn without a signal, you might run into them, or a left turn. Or if they press the brake and there's no light, you might run into the back. Or if there's one headlight on, you might think it's a motorcycle and walk into it. So it is in public interest to enforce these things. But at the same time, who drives cars that are older and have lights that go out? It's poor people. And so there is a sort of a counter, you have an unintended consequences, because now it becomes sort of like a poor tax almost. So how do you prevent that? And so being able to have an instrument whereby, yes, you want to stop the people, but instead of it being a frightening experience, it's a positive experience, then maybe that will lead to other things, a different way that we look at these societal problems, especially when it comes to people who need resources, especially when those communities are disproportionately of one or another ethnic group, and then it becomes kind of have this ethnic racial tone to it. And so this is an opportunity, instead of saying we stopped 25 black people who had their lights out and we gave them tickets, now we helped 25 black people yesterday. And so it just flips everything on its head and makes the community's relationship with our minority communities and our low-income communities a better one because of the problem, not a worse one because of the problem. And so from now on, when someone gets stopped for a broken light in the city of Wichita, instead of a ticket and a lecture, this is what they're going to get: a voucher to go get it fixed for free at a participating service provider who is voluntarily doing it at a reduced cost in the interest of the community. Great partnership. Thank you. I'm going to introduce you to Sherman Patterson, who works with us. He's the guy with the boots on the ground, and former military guy who worked with the Minneapolis Police Department, and he talks the language of the police and helps us connect with the police community all around the country. Sherman?
Thanks, Don. I hate going behind him, guys. I really do. He's an orator. So Chief said earlier that this is a tool. The voucher is a tool for the officers on the belt. And just imagine when he or she is getting out of their car and approaching this person who's about wondering why they're going to get a ticket. The anxiety is up on both sides, and you have to understand each other. That anxiety is up. But when that officer comes back and says, "Hey, I'm going to give you this voucher," their eyes go, "What? What is this voucher?" Here's a voucher that you can go get this light bulb fixed. If it was for a turn signal, a blown headlight, a tail light, and then that anxiety goes down. The conversation starts. It's like a healing process. It's an understanding of each other. Because at the end of the day, that officer goes home. He or she is a person. They have kids. They have a family. They have a brother or sister. And the same as with that recipient, that motorist, they have an understanding. I want to get home. I want to have fun. But you know what? I was stopped by the Wichita Police Department, and guess what I got? Instead of a ticket, I got this voucher which I'm going to take down to the local auto center and I'm going to get my light fixed. This is what it's all about. Understanding, people talking to one another, people hearing one another, and us moving forward. And they're very excited when they get to that auto center, when they get that light bulb and say, hey, I'm coming to get this light bulb fixed. And they go in there and they get that fixed. And then they're talking to their peers. Guess what just happened to me? The domino effect starts. And they see the officer again, or if they hear, if people are hearing, both sides, negativity on this side, negativity on this side. But hey, you hear something positive. It's actionable, it's a deliverable, and it's a win-win for everyone. The Wichita Police Department reaching out to the community understanding the Wichita Police Department, our auto service providers, the business community is a part of this. It's a trifecta. And this is what Lights On is all about. We're about helping people, those in need, but at the same time, having an understanding about what we are doing, why we are here, because we're all in this together. Thank you.
Two little quick items too that are important for me to mention is, so this is a pilot program, and the area we're going to be doing it in is zip code 67214. As part of this program, we will be measuring and studying the outcomes. And we have a partnership with Professor Berzer at WSU that is going to assist us with that. With that, I believe we're done. Mayor, did you want to say a few words? Okay.
Just want to just thank everyone who made this happen. This is a huge step forward here in Wichita. We are the first Kansas community who are going to be part of this Lights On program. And really that switches this, when it comes to a taillight being out, from a fee issue, a punishment issue, to a safety issue, to an empowerment issue, allowing our citizens the ability to actually go and get their light fixed so that, they don't have to worry about the hassle of going back and forth to work with that repair needed in the back of their mind. So it's so important that we recognize the folks that made this happen. And I just want to thank you and really having a forward-thinking police chief and staff that are about building relationships in the community and ensuring that Wichitans know that we're all in this together. And moving forward, we can continuously improve. And this is one of those really just highlights that makes Wichita different from our surrounding communities, is now if you are in this zip code and you're someone who has a light that's gone out, instead of getting a ticket, you now get the resources to get that light fixed, which keeps everyone else and yourself and your family on the road safe. So again, thank you. I can't express enough how excited I am about this program, and thank you all.
Councilor Johnson or Tuttle, did you want to say anything? Okay. Okay, with that, we'll entertain a couple questions, and we'll be on our way.
You talked about this being a pilot program. What are kind of the limits on that? Is it a time length? Is it a number of people involved in it? A certain number of vouchers? What are the limitations of this pilot?
Well, one of the things we're looking for is continued funding, right? So a lot of it will depend on the continued funding. But we have a certain dollar amount now that when that's gone, unless we can increase that, we'll have to seek that further funding.
Are there options already available for that further funding?
There's grant opportunities. We think that the community will come together. From the information that I received from Don and Sherman was that oftentimes people will start to donate. And I don't know if you guys want to talk a little bit about that.
Everywhere we go, people love this program. We've gotten 2 major grants, one totaling, at the end of the day, $270,000, another one $900,000. And in both cases, we were told what to ask for. And so there's just a love for this program. Everybody understands the innocence of it. There's really an innocence factor here. And everybody understands the goodwill. And we fix everything up to $250. And if there's a wiring problem, it gets fixed. That's how deep this is going, so that you don't just show up at the service station and, I got a wiring problem, goodbye. We'll fix everything up to $250, and if it goes beyond that, the person will have to throw in the rest. And so that kind of everybody says, wow, why hasn't this happened before? and the funding community has that same reaction. So we're confident.
Can you explain further how it works? Say I get stopped, I have a broken taillight or something. The officer approaches, gives me a voucher. Do I take that voucher to one of the participating?
Yes, you take that voucher within, I think, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
To a participating service station, and you've heard the names.
You have, once you receive the voucher, you have 14 days to redeem that voucher. Because we don't want to go longer, because then that prolongs the person who can be stopped again. And it's a chance to say, why am I being stopped? I have this voucher. But if that person's responsibility is you have 2 weeks, and that's more than ample enough time to get that fixed. So that's why
If they don't do it,
But they don't do it, then if they get it stopped again, then that's between them and the Wichita Police Department.
Oh.
And also, what I want you to know is at the discretion of the officer to give that voucher or a ticket. They're not going to give both because it's at their discretion. We want to have clarity on that. Okay.
and just to clarify, if they're stuck anywhere outside of that one zip code, this is not going to apply yet, right?
Correct, it is just the zip code. All right, thank you. Thank you, everyone. I want to thank the media for being here. And again, we're also going to be sharing information on our Facebook page, the Wichita Police Department. So look for information on our Facebook and Twitter for WPD. Thank you.